Well, the weekend has come to a close, but we do not end things here. As you probably know already, I've been trying to catch up, of course, with MARIGOLD with the Dream Star Grand Prix, their annual round robin tournament. Now, I decided I'm going to try to catch up as much as possible, so on a decision, I decided to do what I can for this one. So we're going to be reviewing, of course, day 8, day 9, and day 10. Now, day 8, of course, is in Korakuen Hall, which is their big show, and all their matches of the Grand Prix takes place. And day 9, they actually do their show at Shinjuku FACE. And day 10, cannot remember where they put it, but I'll look in my notes once we get closer. So we'll see how things will progress. And then, as always, we'll cap up our episode as usual with some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough with the jibber jabbers. Let's get started. As I said, it's all about MARIGOLD. So let's begin, of course, with day 8 of the Dream Star Grand Prix. Okay, day 8 of MARIGOLD's Dream Star Grand Prix 2025. And this show took place, of course, on the 30th of August in Korakuen Hall. Now, this is one of their bigger shows, in case anybody asks. But if you ever get to see this one, for those who haven't seen it yet, this does have English commentary, in case anybody asks. So, you should check it out. Now, they did have a pre-show, a 6-woman tag team match. We have team number 1, Nagisa Tachibana, Minami Yuki, and Komomo Minami. They take on Yuka Yamazaki, Hummingbird, and now Ishikawa. So it was a pretty interesting match. Like, you look at some wrestlers, like they're still barely rookies that are in this match, and they're trying to. We know that Nagisa Tachibana has picked up some good wins. We know Komomo Minami has also too, so has them, and they're looking like they're getting their footing in as well. And of course, Yuka Yamazaki, who's like the latest rookie, well, she's getting her footing just a little bit. But you look at Hummingbird and now Shikawa, they are the ones with the most experience. But however, it was Nagisa Shibata, who picked up the win by applying the Magistral, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. I think she did that on Nao Ishikawa, and boom, that was pretty great. Now, as I mentioned, it's the Dream Star Grand Prix. They did the opening ceremony, introducing the participants of the tournament. Then, of course, we jump in with the first match. It's the Dream League. We have Chiaki versus Rhea Seto. Now, you can call this a Dark Revolution showdown. Now, of course, in the beginning, these ladies started out with 0 points, but however, there's no chance in the world that they could catch up at this rate with their point system. But you would have assumed that they will not hold back, and they didn't, because they're desperate to win. Not to mention, of course, Rhea Seto, as you all know, I mentioned not too long ago, she stabbed Victoria Yuzuki in the back, telling her that she's not going to allow her to outshine her. But she proved that when she applied the Azushi suplex, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, she finally gets her first 2 points. Now, our next 2 matches are part of the Star League. First match, we have, of course, Mitsa Matsui versus Kizuna Tanaka. Now, much like Rhea Seto, Kizuna Tanaka has been unsuccessful to get wins. We know Mitsa Matsui has done very well for her from the very beginning. But the real question is, will Mitsa Matsui get another victory, or Kizuna Tanaka will get that opportunity she did? I was surprised. No one expected it. She finally picked up, of course, a pinfall on Mitsa Matsui and getting her first 2 points. 1, 2, 3, over, just like that. Now, our next match, still part of the Star League, we have Nagisa Nozaki versus Chika Goto. Now, of course, all hell broke loose on this one. Those who know this as Nagisa Nozaki, a member of course, a Darkness Revolution, they would do whatever it takes to win by softening their opponents up, by taking them outside, whacking them with chairs, doing all of that. But however, that did not do any good for them, because, of course, it ended up in a double countout. Nagisa Nozaki attained with the total points of 7, while Chika Goto obtained with the total points of course, 3. Since each of them were double counted out, they each one get 1 point. So that explains the odd number, in case anybody asks. Now, our next 2 matches are, of course, of the Dream League. We have Maria versus Victoria Yuzuki. So, of course, many people have looked up to Victoria Yuzuki as the future ace of Stardom. And I have to say, she has done pretty well for herself, impressing everybody, showcasing what she can do. Not to mention the inaugural, no, not the inaugural, she was a Superfly champion. You probably can guess that. But Maria, well, we all know the type of thing she does all the time. But in the end, it was Victoria Yuzuki with her move. I had no idea what she calls it until it was mentioned. It was called the victory shooting, kind of like a little jumping twisty thingy, and I thought it was pretty cool. So that's exactly what she did. So she defeated her by applying the victory shooting, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Victoria Yuzuki ended up with the total points of 8, leaving Maria with a total points of 4. Now, still in the Dream League, we have Seri Yamaoka versus Kyuki Amori. Now, they have faced each other before in a tag team setting, but however, now they're facing each other in a single setting. Now, of course, we know Seri Yamaoka is a very fantastic wrestler. Kyuki Amori, we all seen how fantastic she can be, and of course, the first ever GHC Women's Champion. You probably can guess how that's gonna be. But the match ended with, of course, with Kyuki Amori applying the Hammersmith Butterfly, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, she gained 2 more points with the total of 6, leaving Seri Yamaoka with the total points of 4. Now, as we continue with our next 2 matches are part of the Star League. We have Chanyota versus Miku Ano. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Chanyota, as you all know, she is a very impressive wrestler. Now, many of you know about her background, what she did, and I don't judge her. And I have to say, she is amazing. She has really, really developed her wrestling skills completely. But she's facing against someone who is a force of nature, not to mention the first ever United National Champion. And that is something, of course, that Chanyota could put herself in the map, maybe for a future title shot for that belt down the road. But, however, Miku Ando was able to defeat her by applying the Styles Clash, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So she gets the total points of 3, which is interesting. People would have thought that Miku Ando would have been at the top, but no. But as for Chanyota, she still remained at the total points of 4. Now, our next match involving Starlight. This is a very interesting one. Friends and former tag champions. We have MIRAI versus Mai Sakurai. Now, for those who know their history between these two ladies became good friends during their time in Stardom when they were members of DDM, or as we know them, Donna Del Mondo, that was once led by Julia. And of course, they have teamed up. They were amazing tag team champions. That's something we cannot deny, and that was pretty something we know they have done pretty well for themselves on that. And now they're facing off each other, and I think many people always often say Mirai should be at the top. She's a fantastic wrestler. But Mai Sakurai, as you know, she has really grown up significantly, Not only because she learned from Julia, but she was able to find her footing as well, even to do things without her, since she's no longer with the promotion. And she applied a submission move, and just like that, she was completely out. The ref called it by his decision, and just like that, it was completely over. And the points, of course, for Mai Sakurai, she leaves with the total points of 8, leaving Mirai with the total points of 3, which was really, really surprising. Now, our next match is our main event, part of the Dream League of the Dream Star Grand Prix. Well, this one is a surprise. Many of you know these two. Mayu Iwatani versus Utami Ashida, the current Superfly champion versus the current MARIGOLD world champion. Now, many people who may or may not know, Utami Ashida was the one who surprised everyone when she defeated Utami Ayashida for the red belt back in Stardom. That is something, of course, that Utami Ayashida has always reminded people about what she did. However, she's always felt now threatened with Mayu being in MARIGOLD. But however, Mayu decided, I'm not just going to go for the red belt. I will get to it eventually, but I'm just going to start at the bottom. And that's why she's the Superfly champion. She's going to work her way up. She says she wants to hold every title that they have. And I wouldn't be surprised if she becomes the first ever person to hold both the GHC and the IWGP Women's Champions. So that is something we could definitely see. But of course, this match was fantastic. I mean, these ladies tried to put each other down no matter what it took. But in the end, unfortunately, this match ended in a 15-minute time limit draw. And just like that, it was over. So each of them get a 1 point each. Mayu Iwatani received the total points of 5, while Utami Ishida received the total points of 9. So basically, Utami Ishida most likely could win, of course, the tournament. I haven't got the results on that one. I decided not to hear anything about it, but I'll eventually get to it. But that's pretty much it for this one. So we're now done with day 8, so let's move on with day 9. Okay, day 9 of MARIGOLD's Dream Star Grand Prix. And this happened on the 2nd of August in Shinjuku FACE, still in Tokyo, in case anybody asked. Now, we did have the opening ceremony of the entirety of the event, in case anybody asked. But let's jump into some of the matches. Now, our first 3 matches are non-tournament matches, in case anybody would ask about that. Our first match is a singles match. We have Nagisa Tachibana versus Komomo Minami. Pretty good match, not gonna lie about that. I mean, we've seen these ladies, how much they have grown, how much they have developed on their wrestling skills, trying to get the footing. But the real question, which one of them is walking out? I'm not gonna lie, they're both fantastic. But in the end, it was Komomo Minami that was able to pick up the pinfall onto her, and just like that, 1, 2, 3. It was done. Our next match, we have tag team action. We have Yuka Yamazaki teaming up with Nao Ishikawa. They take on Hummingbird and Mai Sakurai. So, yeah, practically. Now, those who have seen recently, there has been interesting moments with Yuka Yamazaki trying to take off the feathers from Hummingbird's mask, which, of course, is a sign of total disrespect. But, however, she ended up on the wrong side of Mai Sakurai's version of everything is evil, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was done. Our next match, we have the members of Darkness Revolution, consistent of Chiaki Mitsumatsui and Nagisa Nozaki. They take on Minami Yuki, Mirai, and Utami Ayashida. Now, of course, you all know that if anybody pinned Utami Ayashida, would most likely will love to have a shot of the red belt, which is something they Darkness Revolution wants, and also put themselves on the map, which is something that's obvious. But in the end, it was Mitsumatsui that picked up the win when she applied, of course, a double foot stomp onto Yuki Minami, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, Darkness Revolution walked away with the win, thanks to Mitsumatsui. Now, our next match, starting part of the Grand Prix, we have the Star League, Chanyota versus Chika Goto. Now, of course, these ladies have been so far standing in there. They haven't been able to proceed even further. They've been stuck in the same point-based system. But, however, one of them has to succeed. I wasn't too sure which one. I mean, they're both fantastic. I mean, Chika Goto, we have seen her how much she's grown too. But she was impressive when she applied a somewhat of a short-range choke slam or something. I don't know, but it very was effective, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, she picked up her next 2 points with the total points of five, leaving, of course, Chenya still at the bottom with the total points of 4. Now we jump in with the Dream League. We have Maria versus Seri Yamaoka. So, of course, these two ladies, one of them has to pick up the win to proceed even further. But I wasn't too sure. I mean, Maria, we know how talented she is, so is Seri Yamaoka. But in the end, it was Seri Yamaoka with her pinfall move. I don't know exactly what to call it. That was the one thing that allowed her to pick up the win to gain her next 2 points with the total points of 6. 1, 2, 3, over. Maria remained at the total points of 4. Our next match is the Star League. We have Kizuna Tanaka versus Miku Ano. Now, this is one of those matches where Kizuna Tanaka has to step up her game, because Miku Ano is no slouch. She is a force to be reckoned with. We have seen what she can do, and that's exactly what she did. Don't forget, Kizuna Tanaka is a second-generation wrestler. Her mom was a wrestler. Her dad is still an active wrestler, but her mom, no. But you can tell by that always plays out. But in the end, of course, it was Miku Ano with a buzzsaw kick onto her, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, she won her next 2 points with the total points of 5, leaving Kizuna Tanaka still at the bottom with the total points of 2. Now back to the Dream League. Well, this one is a match that I believe it's been expected between these two, Rhea Seto and Victoria Yuzuki. Now, for those who know this, I did not review, of course, the Burning Desire tour, which is the one that I skipped out in order to focus on this. Now, let me give you guys a recap of what happened. I don't remember when it happened, but it happened. Rhea Seto was teaming in a 6-person tag match. Her, Victoria Yuzuki, and I forgot who else, with the remaining members of Darkness Revolution, and Rhea Seto stabbed her in the back by attacking her. And the reasons Rhea Seto did what she did, she felt threatened by, of course, Victoria Yuzuki's rise to the occasion, knowing that she will outshine her. So she felt, I'm not going to outshine you, bitch. So that's like in this moment where she's like saying, oh, hell no, bitch. You're not going to win this one. I'm going to beat you this time. So that's the whole point of this match, where, of course, that Rhea Seto cannot allow, of course, Victoria Yuzuki to pick up a windfall. So she attacked her before the bell even rung. And of course, as a member of Darkness Revolution, you know she'll do whatever it takes to dismantle, to try to hurt her, try to break her limbs or whatever she did, but none of it worked in her favor because unfortunately this match ended in a time limit draw after 15 minutes, and each of them gets 1 point each. So Rhea Seto leave with the total points of 3, while Victoria Yuzuki leave with the total points of 9. Now, of course, Rhea Seto will not be satisfied until she defeats her once and for all and show her that she's not going to outshine her ever again. And well, that's exactly what was going to happen, but it did not do any favors for her. Now, our main event is the Dream League. We have Kyuki Omori taking on the Icon. That's right, Miu Iwatani. Now, of course, I'm sure Kyuki Omori, who knows her reputation, who knows what she's capable of, is up to the task, knowing too well this is not going to be an easy match after all, because for those who know Miu, she doesn't give up that easily, because that's who she is. You know, Miu Iwatani is not an easy person to take down unless you found a way. But unfortunately, Kyuki Omori end up in the wrong side of the moonsault, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So Miu Iwatani gained 2 more points with a total points of 7, leaving, of course, Kyuki Omori with a total points of 6. And as always, Miu Iwatani closed down the show, and that's how it ends, folks. So that's pretty much it, what happened on day 9. So let's move on to our last review part of the MARIGOLD episode, and that is, of course, day 10. Okay, last review, day 10 of MARIGOLD's Dream Star Grand Prix. Excuse me. And this happened on the 6th of August in Toyama. Don't remember the venue, so don't ask me that question. But as always, they did the opening ceremony as usual with the competitors involved in the entire tournament. So let's get started with the non-tournament matches, and I think we have 2 of them. First, we have Ryo Seto versus Komomo Minami versus Minami Yuki versus Hummingbird. Now, of course, many people can say that some of these ladies are on the way picking up the right wins, of course. But you look at Hummingbird, who has a bit more experience than everybody else. You can tell she can definitely try to do this. But what's surprising is it was Minami Yuki once again picking up the victory onto not Minami Yuki. I mean Komomo Minami getting another victory onto Minami Yuki, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match, we have Yuka Yamazaki. She teams up with Sari Yamaoka, taking on Celine Flora, consistent of Kizuna Tanaka and Victoria Yuzuki. Now, of course, many of you know that this match would definitely go in favor of course, of Kizuna Tanaka and Victoria Yuzuki for obvious reasons. They have been a very good cohesion team. You know that from day one, they are the future of what they are, as we expect in MARIGOLD. And of course, we expected them to pick up the win because it was Victoria Yuzuki with the, once again, with the victory shooting onto Yuka, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our first 2 matches of the Dream Star League, Dream Star Grand Prix, we have for the Star League, we have Mirai versus Mitsa Matsui. Now, of course, when it comes to Mitsa Matsui, everybody knows that she'll try to play dirty. As a member of Darkness Revolution, now exactly her move. Now, Mirai has not got a great record right now in this tournament for this year, but she was able to overcome it when she applied a big lariat onto her, knocking her lights out, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Mirai walked away with the win with the total points of 5, leaving Mitsa Matsui with the total points of 6. Our next match, we have Nagisa Nozaki versus Miku Ano. Now, of course, much like as a member of Darkness Revolution, you know Nagisa Nozaki will definitely try to pick up the win no matter what it took. But Miku Ano has always been a force to be reckoned with since day one, and that's exactly what she did. And no matter what Nozaki tried to pull, it did not work at all. It was Miku Ano who walked away with a driver, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, she gets the total 2 more points with the total points of 7, also leaving Nagisa Nozaki with the total points of 7. Now our next match is our last one for the Grand Prix, the Dream League. We have Chiaki versus Mayu Iwatani. Now, of course, when it comes to Chiaki, you know she's as a member of Darkness Revolution. You know she has her sights set on Mayu Iwatani for two obvious reasons. Two obvious reasons actually. One, her being the Superfly champion. You don't think she would want that belt? That's definitely something they want. And two, imagine how she would dismantle her no matter what. Saying to the world, I defeated Mayu Iwatani. She has no icon. That's exactly what she do. And of course, Chiaki did everything humanly possible to try to hurt her, try to put her down completely, but nothing worked because the icon does not stay down. But unfortunately, this match ended in a double countout after 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and that means both of them each get 1 point. So, Chiaki receives with the total points of 3, while Mayu Iwatani gets the total points of 8. So, that's how things end. Chiaki may not have gotten away what she wanted, but maybe next time. Or maybe it's not going to be a next time. Now, our main event, we have a 6-woman tag team match. We have Nagisa, Tachibana, Chika Goto, and Mai Sakurai. They take on Nao Ishikawa, Kyuki Omori, and Utami Ayashida. And of course, you probably can guess how that was going to turn out right from the beginning. Now, don't forget, of course, Utami Ayashida is the current world champion. You definitely know that she's going to be targeted in this one. But the one thing that was interesting, as you all know, recently Nagisa Tachibana was able to pick up 2 victories onto Nao Ishikawa, and that's exactly what Nao Ishikawa did. Got a little bit of a payback for those, and she applied a German suplex on her, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So that's how things end on day 10. So I think we have 2 more events from MARIGOLD, and I think it's day 11 and the finals. We'll see what happens from there, but let's end things right now and move on to our last and final thing, news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. For those who know, we normally would do upcoming events and developments. However, there are no upcoming events to report for all of you on updates on this section, so let's talk about certain developments. Now, as you all know, recently, of course, with WWE announcing on 2027 that they'll have the WrestleMania show in Saudi Arabia, there was a lot of questions be asked. We did talk about WrestleCon. They said that they will do a show, but they're going to pick a city of their choosing. However, a bold move has been made by AEW CEO, of course, Tony Khan. Many of you probably wondering what exactly that means. He said that he would love to have a show in the spring of 2022 opposite of WrestleMania. So basically, this is something interesting. Remember, they're going to be on the other side of the world, and that would makes it enough time for AEW to do whatever they need to do. And that's something I'm sure that I don't think WWE expected from them, because we know for the last couple of months WWE has been aiming to have their shows on the exact timing of theirs, which of course is their way of trying to shut them down, but so far it's not working in their favor. I mean, people still watch their shows, but that's how it is. But we'll see what happens until we get closer and closer to that time. Now, as you all know, I mentioned recently, of course, Mirai announced that she'll be departing from MARIGOLD next month on the 13th. However, certain people have spoken about her. Amongst them is none other than Hatman, of course. Rasiagawa, who many of you know, he's been a promoter for decades, and not to mention, he was well known from Stardom and now MARIGOLD. Talked about her. He said, today at the Shinkiba show, Mirai announced her departure from MARIGOLD. We had numerous discussions with her, but ultimately we decided to respect Mirai's wishes and allow her to leave since this was her choice. Our role will now be to watch over and to look forward to our future activities. Any promotion faces any goodbyes as their new members. That is the fate of running a promotion. Every promotion faces internal conflicts. There is happy news and sad news. I ask the fans, share all this with us and part of pro wrestling. So basically, they are willing to oblige to her wishes and all that. I mean, it's not an easy task. I'm sure that they will love to keep her, but some things have to change. Now, another person spoke about Mirai, and that is, of course, the icon Miu Watanabe, and this is what she had to say. When I first heard she was leaving, I was wondering why. She was an absolute essential member as we build the foundations of MARIGOLD's show, and she also took initiative during training. I feel a sense of sadness, like, is she going back? So what does that sentence mean, that part, that is she going back? I'm not sure. I mean, there are people that speculate that she may be heading back to Stardom, but they're those asking, is she going to be freelancing? I don't know. Or she might go back to the promotion she was in, which is, of course, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. But for what you guys don't know, she was part of Kanaye, which is, of course, the old promotion that was ran by Takamichi Nuku. I wouldn't be surprised if she joins him, because he was the one who trained her, you know, around the same time with Tomoka Inaba, in case anybody asks about that. But yes, I wouldn't be surprised. Or the obvious thing, a freelancer, which I'll be fine with it. Now, Miu Watanabe, for many of you know, recently Tokyo Super Wrestling just had their big show, their version of WrestleMania, Wrestle Princess 6, and of course, she won the Princess of Princess Championship, and this is what she had to say during her post-match comments. I truly believe that Tokyo Super Wrestling is something so wonderful that it can become the world's greatest theme park. The world's greatest dreamland. I will put my life on the line to make Tokyo Pro Wrestling everyone's favorite #1 in the world. I'll do my best. Yeah, we know that Tokyo Pro Wrestling is not at the top yet. I mean, they're like #2 behind Stardom. And they could potentially take it to that level. I mean, got to remember, Tokyo Pro Wrestling and Stardom are completely different how they operate, and how they do things. That's something that, what's his name? Shinjiro Tagagi, the founder, or the DDT's owner, and all, and this promotion as well, talked about. So we'll see what happens. Now, finally, many of you may know this girl who's out on injury, Kanaye Ane. She made her debut with Stardom back a while ago in Okinawa, and recently she was injured back in April. So that was the whole thing. She was supposed to be in a match, but she just recently posted out on this that to everyone who was looking forward to it, I'm truly sorry to withdraw. However, recently she has been training again. There's photos of her at the dojo training herself, getting back in shape. Recently, she has hanged out with Yuna Mizumori and Aya Sakura. Well, they're having lunch or something, I'm not sure. But yes, so basically, it's still unclear when she'll be back, so we'll see when that happens. So I'm looking forward to see what she's going to do. But those are asking what faction she would be joining. A part of me would like to think that she probably would join Cosmic Angels for obvious reasons. If you guys know this, her debut opponent was Yuna Mizumori. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, because I would say she'd definitely be a perfect fit to Cosmic Angels. So we'll see what happens. But as of right now, let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. I will continue to do the remaining MARIGOLD events of the Dream Star Grand Prix. I have 2 more reviews from that, and then there's the new show that came out recently. I'll do that as soon as possible, but I want to finish off with that. But as this moment forward, I'm behind on Pro Wrestling Noah. That's where I'm leaning into. I already did day 1, day 2, but I need to do the remaining. We're in day 8 so far, so I need day 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I might have to catch up, and then I'll do what I can with the Joshi the Yoshi events that I missed out, but I made a judgment call for the Tokyo Show Pro Wrestling events. I decided to do the self-produced show of Hyper Misawa, the graduation event of Yoshiko Hasegawa, all the Tokyo Princess Cup, and of course Wrestle Universe. So those are remain. There's others I haven't that I'm considering doing, but I'll get to those as soon as possible. So as of right now, we'll leave that as it is. So until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I'm gonna bid all of you adieu. So goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.